Hello everyone, this is the Tarot Queen Jamila. I want to do your September love readings. I'm going to go ahead and do it right now, and I apologize for the voiceover, but I cannot be on camera, so my apologies in advance. So I'm going to do a full 10 card deviant moon spread for your love life for the month of September 2016 for the Aries. And I am going to start, which I started today, with, doing my actual shuffling before I start the reading, or before I start the camera. So, the cards are already shuffled and cut, so I'm just going to lay them out. I'm going to do the 10 card deviant moon spread for you, for your love life. So let me go ahead and lay your cards out. Okay, so first of all, it looks like what some of you Aries may be dealing with to start the month out, or just like a general overview of the month, is the Chariot. You got the major arcana, the Chariot. So this could mean that it's a possibility that you may be pushing your partner too hard, or they may be doing the same thing to you. But I would say probably for the Aries, that this is, I see this card often for the Aries, and it just means to not push too hard, and to not pressure anyone. Also, it means that is definitely an obstacle of sort of pushing too hard, just not knowing when to back off. Okay, so it's really difficult with that fire energy to do that, but you actually can do it. Also, the Chariot is to remind you to use your energy for better use. Okay, just in general is what the Chariot comes up as. But it does show that if you are single, that it seems like you're determined to make that connection, but you just want to make sure that you don't push too hard and don't be too forceful. Now, some of the things that you've been dealing with in the past, in the past position, is the Moon card. So this is showing that there's been some fighting if you're already in a relationship, or if you're in a relationship with Aries, you've probably been fighting with your Aries partner. It seems like to me this energy could possibly be coming up from the Aries, which is what I try to explain to people all the time about how you manifest certain things with your own energy. But it just shows a really paranoid time where there's a fight over something that probably isn't there, or maybe there was some issues in the past. The Moon card signifies that probably in the months leading up, especially if you're in a long-term relationship, or maybe sometime in August, there's going to be some some fighting within your relationship, or just within your home, is what I'm seeing with that Moon card. So just be on the lookout for that, and just keep in mind that you want to be in control of your own consciousness, especially when it comes to your relationships. So now what's going to be affecting you subconsciously is the Nine of Pentacles. And so this is really very upbeat, positive energy. So I think that's actually a good thing, the Nine of Pentacles. For that to be affecting you subconsciously, it just It just means that one thing I want to tell you is that someone might be throwing some energy at you. Okay, so being that, your main subconscious influence is the Nine of Pentacles, it seems like the Moon card was either something that was cyclic, or it could just be some energies from the past that you're feeling some emotions from within your relationship. And it is going to have a major impact. And so far, your general theme for the month is the Chariot. So you just want to keep in mind that even during an argument, you still need to learn when to back off. And when someone says they don't want to talk about it anymore or something like that, you don't want to use that forceful energy. Now your your secret desires, you get a court card, which is the Elder of Pentacles, which is the King of Pentacles, because I'm using my Pagan Tarot deck. So this is you wanting stability within your relationship and you wanting that perfect connection and just a very real connection, but just keep in mind that you can't force it. Now, for a court card to come up, this can mean that you desire an actual person, definitely. So if you're single, there is a specific person that you're looking at. If you're already involved with someone, it could be this King of Pentacles, could mean that you are looking for that grounding in your relationship, possibly. So just that stability. The King of Pentacles, definitely knows how to hold on to things, because this is, not just material items, but also people. So this is, wisdom in, I believe it's wisdom in reasoning is the King of Pentacles in the Pagan Tarot. So a lot of times just having that wisdom. And I think, actually the King of Pentacles, it's the Queen of Pentacles that's wisdom is in possessing things. I think that's the King of Pentacles. Meaning now, something that's hidden, especially if you're dealing with an Aries, you got the Four of Chalices. So there's definitely some energy, even though if you're currently involved with someone, even though the relationship may be going pretty well, the person is still got some definite feelings of, sadness, or maybe even like they, maybe even though it's something that it's about the relationship that they want to change, typically is and really it's about, regretting the past, almost like the Five of Cups. But, the Four still is, that conflict has not really been brought up yet. So there's still something that's bothering your partner that they're not discussing with you. Especially if you have a female Aries, there's probably something being kept, that's causing some sadness, and maybe even some, maybe causing them to take the relationship for granted, because they don't really, they can't see that there's so much other, they can't see the good in the relationship. The only thing they can see is the bad. And it could be also that your Aries partner, or if you are Aries, this could be your partner, or both. Typically, when you're in a love partnership with somebody, you go through the same things, so it synchronizes, especially with that Four. So I would say that both parties are possibly feeling this way. And the Four of Cups, the energies from that is to count your blessings. But, there is going to be a time, the Four just means that you're working on it. If you got the Five of Cups, it would show, more of an emotional. But it would show more of the fighting, but this is more so a mutual feeling between both couples, typically, between both people. Now, an upcoming event that you have, which is a future card, position number 6, is the High Priestess. So this is going to be a very powerful period, sometime in September, where there's this, this connection with a lot of sexual energy. Okay, so that's something you can look forward to. Typically, the High Priestess, it tells of it's a very powerful sexual energy that you can see within the High Priestess. And so it's a lot of good energy, to be honest with you. A lot of people, it's also a highly fertile period. So, some of you might be thinking about, having a child during that month, because the High Priestess is a very fertile card, and not just fertile with children, but just also creativity and abundance and power and status. So now, Aries, your surrounding environment in the month of September, you got the Wheel. So this is another major arcana. And I can see you doing a lot of, whenever this card comes up, this is where there's some sort of turn of events that causes you to search for answers. So it's the World card, the Wheel card, causes you to look a lot deeper. So I get the sense that, there's gonna be some sort of, unexpected happening within your surrounding environment, and this is the people around you. And I think that it's going to be a turn for the better. I think that since things have possibly been, especially with this Moon card, so within your relationship with that person, and if you've got kids or whatever that are picking up on that energy, it looks like there is going to be a lot of support. So it looks like that's going to be a turning point for you, because you got the Ten of Chalices and the how does your surrounding environment influence you. So it is a lot of positive energy within the Ten of Cups. This is a lot of happiness and togetherness and peace and harmony and completion, and just a lot of good emotions. Whether or not they're good or bad, you're still a big happy family, because but it does, show a lot of happiness, and there's a rainbow, and, a lot of prosperity, abundance of love. Let's see here, 1 second. Yeah, sorry. Now, the spiritual forces come in as the Fool. So the spirits want some sort of cosmic or earthly rebirth or something. The Fool card is about, being reborn, or maybe even reinventing yourself, but it's also about learning to trust. So during the month of September, there's going to be some major lessons on trust, with the Fool card being a major arcana. It's also about getting in touch with God and trusting in God also, and just having that energy of that childlike energy, that innocence. When you get reborn, you're being reborn, and essentially you're starting over. So the spirits are taking you on a completion, definitely after the 10, and then you got the Fool. So the number that symbolizes the Fool is the 0, which is it's a God force number, but I will be more specific in what I mean by the 0, because I do and have always paid attention to numerology, have always had a natural knack for breaking down numbers. I used to break down numbers all the time. But I want to tell you the numerology meaning of the number 0 real quick. So this is the Alpha, which is the beginning, and the Omega, as there is no beginning and no end. All is infinite. Okay, so that's pretty much what that zero means, and that's why it's, you know, there's a special. It's tied in with numerology with the tarot. So, you know, the Fool card definitely is going to give you sort of a cleansing. It's a cleansing, and that's pretty good. So in September, you know, if you've been feeling that dark energy, you know, that's been hanging over, especially with the Moon card and then the Chariot. The Chariot card, you know, is really a major arcana card that shows that you have been reacting a lot out of fear. So, and that is what's creating the obstacles. So just having trust, you know, which is, you know, as portrayed in the Fool card, you know, things will definitely turn around for you. Now, your final outcome is the Seven of Wands. So I'm a little concerned about some of you Aries, as far as with this Seven of Wands is concerned. Now, there is a lesson within the Seven of Wands as to why the Pagan deck would want you to get this card, and this is about learning to accept advice and being able to listen. So the Seven of Wands shows that there's a blockage. Okay, there's some sort of blockage, and you're trying to overcome it. Now this may not resonate for all of you in September, but there is some sort of blockage in the spirit, in the energy with that Seven of Wands, because this is the seven is kind of a wild card number when it comes to the seven. As far as with the tarot. Now the Seven of Wands is not a bad card, but it's still showing some sort of conflict, coping with something, you know, having to use courage and perseverance and strength. So whenever you get the Seven of Wands, you can expect conflicts. They may be small. I think that they'll probably be small. So as far as with love and everything, I do see you with that Seven of Wands as having some conflicts as an outcome within your current relationship. Now, the Fool card, I do see, you know, this cleansing. I do feel that, you know, especially if you are already involved with someone, if you're connected with someone, I do see some sort of cleansing with that Fool card. So it does seem like a lot of you Aries are going to be cleansing during the month of September, and, you know, that's pretty good, especially when the fall comes and the season changes. There is a certain equinox that comes up in September. So, let's see in particular which date it is. So, the September equinox is typically the first day of fall, so about September 23rd. No, I need to look at 2016. That was for 2015. So around September the 22nd, which will also be around the full moon. Let's see here. So, the meaning of this, you know, autumn equinox, it does have some meaning as far as, you know, for, you know, spiritual workers. So around that time for September, the fall equinox is derived, So basically, what does it equal? What does it mean? So this is when the sun is lined up directly with the Earth's equator. And the Earth's axis is tilted neither toward or away from the sun. At this time, the day and night are just about the same length, so about 12 hours each. So, and so traditionally, you know, this marks the beginning of the fall season, and many cultures have harvest festivals. So you want to make sure, as far as like for your love manifestation around this time with this Seven of Wands, you want to be able to listen to your partner. Spirits are saying to also be able to listen to your partner. Okay, it seems like from this card you kind of discount everything that they say, and you always take what you say is right, but this does make your partner feel as though their opinion does not matter. Okay, so there are going to be odds you know, around this time that you want to overcome, and it's basically just being able to listen to your partner and make sure that you are being respectful of them. Okay, so that's a blockage, and that's what's slowing down. That's going to slow you down in whatever it is that you're trying to manifest in your love life, and even in your, you know, financial situation that could affect that also. But with the Seven of Wands, this energy is like you're frustrated, you're ready to move forward, you feel like things have slowed down. So this is when you start to get frustrated, when you realize that things are not manifesting the way that you want. So you've reached, in, you know, this imbalance, you know, or this, you know, things are off for you, and it's off within your relationship because, you know, there's these periods, and especially with the Wands being a fire energy, and definitely this is for the Aries in the relationship, is to just remind you to definitely listen to your partner and do not discount what they say. And this is coming up as a blockage because you're always butting heads. So this is something that is a part of the Aries personality. Some of the zodiac signs do get some of the same advice because this is a struggle for this particular fire sign. And even when you look up some of the negative traits of the Aries, you will discover that that could be a negative trait, and that energy does block you. It does block the connection in your relationship, and it does throw off the balance and the harmony and the peace. Okay, so just keep in mind that you're not always right. You don't have to be right 100% of the time, and you also need to be able to admit when you are wrong. This, you know, that energy of being able to admit when you've made mistakes is very important to some people. So if you are currently involved with someone, you know, this obviously is very important to your partner. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for this reading for September. I do have a new website address, you guys, so definitely make sure that if you want a personalized reading, that you check out the new link to my website. The link is in the video description box. Also make sure that you subscribe to this channel, and that you also thumbs up this video. All right, all of the rest of my contact information is in the video description box, as well as my customer service number, because there's some people that need to get in touch with me and don't know how. And I do have a phone number. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, blessed September. Namaste.